Yep. 115 messages. I did not expect this. I have closed the Google form because there was just too many. If I had any more, it would just be impossible to answer them all. So sorry for those who didn't get a chance to respond to the question and answers, form. But I have to be realistic. I thought when I put the questions and answers form on the Vox Reads Mean Comments video that I'd get maybe 20 questions, but I ended up with far more than that. And because of that, this video has turned out to be nearly 2 hours long, which is kind of nuts. I've never done anything like this before. You're going to have to treat it like a podcast because it's just too long to really be treated like a normal video. I'll not put music on in the background, so you can put your own on instead. I do and quite a lot as I talk, and that's because it's all just completely unscripted. I'm just answering honestly in the moment. It's not very visual, this video. There'll be certain segments where I might show something on an avatar, but that's about it. And maybe a clip or two, so you don't need to worry about that. But yeah, this was unexpected. Oh gosh, do I have some water nearby? Yes, I do. Right, yeah, so here we are. This is the Q&A video that I said I would do. I said you guys can answer, so I could ask whatever you'd like, and here we are. Now, I'm not going to be answering questions that are too personal. That's the thing. There are some questions on here. I've had a glance, and there's like one or two that are just a bit too personal, and I'm not going to be answering those fully, but pretty much all of them I'm going to give an answer. So yeah, I guess just let's begin. Oh, you might see like the camera occasionally change, and that's me just trying to keep it interesting. And just as I said that, my window in front of me decided to go half its size, so now I have to walk over to my computer. So just bear with me a moment. I still have not figured out why it does that. It is very frustrating. There we go. Please stop doing that. Okay. Right. Let's get started, I suppose. Question 1. Do you like cheese? Yes, I fucking love cheese. Cheese is amazing. And, God, the only cheese that I won't eat is, like, Blue Stilton, because it's too strong. Like by itself, I won't eat it. In a sauce, I will definitely eat it. Like, yeah, Blue Stilton on a steak. Blue Stilton sauce on a steak or on a burger. It's delicious. But yeah, I love cheese. I think my favorite cheese is probably, if I had to pick, I really like halloumi. But if I had to pick, I'd probably say brie. I really like brie. Next question. RAM? Question mark. RAM? Do you mean RAM as in how much memory my computer has? 32 gigabytes, 6000 megahertz, DDR5. I hope that's what you mean. Next question. Where did you get your avatar? 'Cause it looks cute. Oh, thank you for calling me cute. Okay, so I get asked this all the time in VR chat, outside of VR chat, because it's so different and it's fluffy and stuff. Okay, so 4 people contributed to this avatar. You have Angara Works, who is on Booth. The avatar's name is called a Kipulu, spelt K-I-P-U-L-U-U, I think. Kipulu. Yeah, that's how it's spelt. You can find it on Booth. It's that avatar. It was heavily modified by my friend Jay. He did a lot of the sculpting work on this. However, I took over some sculpting, and you may have noticed that as time has sort of gone on, I've gotten a bit, thicker, and that's because I've sculpted my avatar to be like that. And then finally, the last person is going to be Warren. He's the guy who made Warren's fur shader, which is how I appear so fluffy all the time. That is to say that there were some things in his fur shader that were missing when it sort of initially released. I have like metallic gold fur. Like you can't really, if I play space up, like the fur is reflective. You can kind of see that if I twist that. That is because me and Jay requested it from him. So in a way, Warren has also contributed to this. So yeah, Warren's fur shader. So it's the Angara Works, Jay, myself, and Warren all contributed to this avatar. Next one. Hey, I'm Tachi. Random question. What is your opinion on pineapple pizza? Well, Tachi, I will let you know that I love pineapple pizza. You don't get this friend-shaped by being picky with food, okay? I love pineapple pizza. Just so we're clear, when it comes to food and pickiness, I am one of the least picky eaters you can imagine. I think the only thing I won't eat is durian fruit. It's just far too strong for me. It's got this really horrible sort of rotten onion taste, and I don't like that. But yeah, pineapple on pizza, it's good for me. I like pineapple pizza. Next question. Why are you so fluffy and adorable? That's not a question. That's a rhetorical question. But thank you. Next one is, do you ever get dizzy in VR? Sometimes, actually. Yeah, I do. Even though I've been playing VR chat and played VR for a really long time, I do still get dizzy. Part of the reason why I picked a shorter avatar to begin with is because I found that being closer to the ground actually helped with motion sickness. So, yeah. I still get it if I'm on really fast vehicles and stuff in VR chat, I will get motion sickness. But when I'm running around and stuff as this avatar, no, I don't really get it, but I still can get it though. It's still there. It's a looming threat. Next question. What's your favourite music genre? From Random Slipknot Furry. And I think my game just crashed. Did my game just crash? Excellent. Yes, it did. However, OVR is still running. So, God damn it. Bear with me a moment. I have to restart the game. I'm glad I got that on camera. For crying out loud. One moment. Okay, so I'm back. Funny thing that just happened. I didn't just crash. My cable died. Yeah, so I've just had to put in a replacement. Luckily, I had a replacement one because I was getting sparkles on inside the headset, so I bought another one and it arrived a few weeks ago. I just never put it in. But I have now. Rip cable. But anyway, let's continue. Where was I? Oh, yes. What's your favourite music genre? From Random Slipknot Furry. First off, Slipknot. Amazing band. Love them. They were like a big part of my childhood. I still have Disaster Pieces on DVD, I think. I think it's upstairs somewhere. It's so amazing. Like when Joey Jordison, like the stage starts like lifting up and goes vertical when he's still on there with his drum set. And it was drum kit rather, and he's playing, even though he's, vertical himself, he's just still playing away, going crazy, and the whole set starts to rotate. Oh, it's crazy. But yeah, Slipknot, good band. My favourite genre, though, is symphonic metal. So think Nightwish, Delain, Within Temptation, Globus, things like that. That's sort of my music. My favourite song, actually that hasn't been asked, I'll answer it anyway. My favourite song is it's called The Promise by the band called Globus, which I mentioned previously. Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you for that question. Next, Floatsul asks, what advice could you give someone curious about the furry fandom? It depends. Are you curious about joining it? If you are, I would suggest going to like local fur meets. That's how I sort of got into it. That's the only way I can recommend it. So yeah, that would be the way to go. However, if you're just curious as a pure outsider, I mean, there's lots of information on the internet about furries. There's a lot of negative things as well. All I will say is that furries are a very easy target for bullying and things like that. So you will get a lot of negativity thrown our ways. A lot of things are made up, like furries have sex with animals and things like that, which is just the biggest complete falsehood there is. And, just things like that. Talking to furries directly is a good way to sort of learn about, furry fandom in general. Find some, talk to them, they'll be happy to share. Furries are very approachable and usually very friendly. So, yeah, just if you're a furry and you want to learn more or you're considering it, go to a local fur meet. If you're not and you're just purely an outsider, then yeah, just talk to furries. They'll be happy to share their experiences. Next question. How did you start your channel? How? I mean, do you mean why did I start my channel? I started my channel because I wanted to make guides. Like the first video I ever made was the video on VR chat social etiquette. And it's a video I'm still quite proud of. It was recorded with a very bad microphone and a very underpowered computer. And this was back in the day when mods were still a thing, so a lot of the actors in that in that video were actually just me using freeze frame, which is a fantastic mod. Hopefully VR chat at some point brings something back like that. But yeah, I wanted to make guides. I saw a gap in the fandom, particularly in VR chat, and I wanted to try and help. I wanted to try and mitigate it in some way, and that was my answer. And that's all I've ever really wanted to do, was I see a problem and I try to help. But I don't like try and directly intervene. I just want to like nudge people, give people a bit of a nudge in the right direction. They've got to help themselves, but you can still do that by giving advice, and that's what I set out to do. Over time, evolved into something more to do with just guides and silly skits, and that's where it's been so far. But recently it's blew up, so that's why I'm here right now. And so all these questions that keep getting thrown at me, and I can't possibly answer everyone, so this is an opportunity to answer a lot of them. But yeah, there we go. Next question. How did you get that cute fuzzy texture / shader on your avatar? P.S. Since you're British, have you ever met Wallace and Gromit? In real life, I'm a really big fan. I'm sorry, I have not met Wallace and Gromit. I have met one of the Chuckle Brothers, though. I met them when I was in Maltby, when I was a little kid. But as far as the first question goes, I've already answered that. It's Warren's fur shader. Next question. For what reasons did you start your YouTube channel? I answered that just then, because it was the same question. Next. Right. I have now moved worlds because I crashed again. I'm not sure what's causing it. I had to replace my cable. What I said earlier was true. It just died. But now it crashed again anyway. So I've moved worlds just to be safe. Anyway. Let's continue. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, here was the question. This might be a long shot, but do you ever plan on making a community meetup in VR chat? Asked by Skellick. Short answer is, unfortunately, it's no. The answer is no. I don't have any plans to make any kind of community meetup or anything. A long answer is, when I set out to make this channel and put guides on it and things like that, I never had the goal of getting any kind of recognition or clout or anything like that. That was never a goal of mine. And that kind of attention actually scares me. I never wanted to make a community around myself. I just don't like the idea of doing that. So the answer is still going to be no, I am afraid. Next question. Do you play anything else other than VRC? And if so, what games? Games. That previous question was by Skellick, by the way. Forgot to mention. I haven't had time for many games recently, but I really like automation games. Games like Factorio, Satisfactory, Dyson Sphere Project, things like that. I quite like that. I'm also a fan of old first-person shooters, so Unreal Tournament, Quake 3, things like that. I'm a big fan of old shooters. And I quite like Doom Eternal as well because of that. I'm not any good at them, but I just really like them. They're fun. So, yeah. But I play a lot of different games if I'm playing anything. I mean, the big one I played recently was Baldur's Gate 3. By the way, play that game if you haven't. It's absolutely amazing. Probably one of the best games I've ever played. But yeah. Next question. How does your fur, avatar in general, look so real? My name is Daniel. Hi. Hello, Daniel. As I said earlier, it's the fur shader, Warren's fur shader, and the combination of Warren helping out and obviously Jay doing the textures for my avatar, and he worked his magic. You know, if you've ever been to the VR chat world, the Twisted Whisker, it's a karaoke world, Jay is the one who made that world. Jay is an absolute genius. I've advertised that world in VR chat several times, and that's because it has automatically synchronized voices for karaoke. I mean, it's black magic how it works, but it's an incredible place. Yeah, he's a really smart guy. He makes lots of avatars from scratch, and he makes lots of worlds. And yeah, he did this for me, and I'm very, very thankful for him for doing that. But yeah. Anyway, next question. Tony asks, what would you rather do? Play VR chat with a haptic vest set to max, or push a 2016 Toyota Prius up a 15-degree incline for a mile? I mean, I've never worn a haptic vest, so I think I'd rather do that. Pushing a car that size up an incline sounds absolutely exhausting. I would rather play with a haptic vest. Next question. This is from TheFoodman52. He says, hey, what do you prefer, waffles or pancakes? Don't worry, there is only one wrong answer. So I'm guessing, Mr. Foodman, that you're probably from America. Waffles and pancakes aren't really that much of a thing here in the UK. I mean, you can get waffles at like creameries and dessert places, but you don't really... I don't know a single British person that owns a waffle iron, like none. We have pancakes here, but they're more like crepes, French crepes. If I had to pick, if I was going to go on American food, because I've had the waffles and pancakes from, American style before, I would have to say pancakes, to be honest. I would have to say pancakes, because they absorb all the juices and things really well. All the sauces that you can put on them. And American pancakes are really nice, so yeah. If I have to pick out the two, pancakes. Next question. Razor asks, do you use eye tracking? If not, how are you so naturally expressive? And if yes, any tips / suggestions? Thank you for the videos. You're welcome. I don't use eye tracking, Razor. I don't. So I find that when it comes to being expressive in VR chat, a lot of it is actually body language, like I'm doing now. I'm using my hands to talk, and I have been doing the whole video. I'm moving my weight, I'm shifting my weight. When I'm thinking, I'll turn. People do that naturally. So it's just like, try to be as natural as you can, and it will sort of shine through. But obviously there are limitations to that, because you need full body tracking for some of those expressions when it comes to, you know, expressing with your body. As far as my eyes go, these are just normal eyes. They're just like, they've got eye bones in them. There's nothing really special about them mechanically. So there have been cases where I've done recording with multiple people, and what I'll do is if I need to be looking in like that direction at a particular time, I'll ask a friend to like come behind the camera at that moment as I go to look at it. That way I'm guaranteeing my eyes are actually going to snap onto them where the camera is, you know, just to sort of guarantee it, because it doesn't always lock on. VR chat's pretty good when it comes to how human your eyes sort of look around and how they make eye contact, but it's not perfect. Trying to take pictures and keeping your eyes in place is a nightmare, but yeah, again, you can get around that by having another person there and putting the camera at a certain point and having them stand somewhere near the camera. It will make you look at them. So yeah. Next question. Hey Vox, all questions are completely optional. What quiet world do you like to go to when you want to chill with friends in VR chat? What VR/video games do you enjoy playing other than VR chat, obviously? And do you enjoy the process of making videos? Have an awesome day, from Fizzy Lake. Thank you, Fizzy Lake. If I want to have... Sorry, I just cracked my neck. If I want to have like a really serious, deep conversation with someone, there's one world that I really like going to, and that is a world called The Light at the End. And it's quite a bloomy sort of world, but it's got like a little pool of water at your feet. It's got really soothing music. It's quite dim, but there's still a lot of bloom, and it's very peaceful. You know, there's some like trees made out of light in there. I enjoy that world for, you know, chilling out and talking to people. But for bigger groups, I would suppose Exoplanet is a really good one. I believe that's its name. Let me just check. It's on here. Yeah, Exoplanet Journey. That's a really good world. So I just had to crack my thumb because it got stiff there for a moment. Yeah, Exoplanet Journey is a really good world for hanging out in, I find. I'm thinking of others. There's one that I discovered recently called Moonlit Wanderings as well, by Wispy Woo. That's also a really good world. Yeah, those are the ones that I sort of would lean towards if you want to chill out with just a few friends rather than partying or anything. Because, yeah, I don't really do that many games in VR chat, so usually I'm in chill worlds. As far as the other VR video games you enjoy playing, I've already answered that question. And do you enjoy the process of making videos? Yes, I do. I like editing. It's fun. It's nice to sort of learn how to do new things. I would say, though, that audio balancing and audio mixing is something I really don't like. I struggle with it. Audio mixing is the bane of my editing. Like getting the audio levels correct, you know, it takes time. Even if you're using like volume dipping for voices and things, it's still difficult to do because it doesn't always get it right, and then you have to go in and change things manually and stuff like that. And then if you like put two effects over one another, it can cause weird things to happen. Because I'm quite sensitive, I suppose, to sound. I'm like, if sound isn't right in a video, I'll notice quite quickly. So yeah, and that goes from just music to speech and how people are talking to each other. So I try and get that as right as I can, but I'm learning how to do that, and I still don't get it right every time. But yeah, I do enjoy making videos. So yeah. Next question. Where did you get your avatar with a realistic fur? I love it and would like a chance to make a custom avatar with that feature. And another question. If I have 5 cheeses and my friend takes 34 of them, where is my father? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry, sweetheart. That's actually quite funny. They haven't left their name. I've already answered that question with the fur shader, so we'll move on. I don't know where your dad is. I'm sorry. Next next question. Favorite Pokemon? Question mark is the question. I could just be complete trash and just say Vaporeon, but I'm not going to do that because it's not really. I'm not really a massive Pokemon fan. I do like it, and I used to play it as a kid, but I haven't really played many of the recent ones. You know what? I always really liked Dragonite from the original, the OG 151 Dragonite. So, yeah, let's go with that, Dragonite. Next. Preferred name, Dicey. How many hours do you have on VR chat? Oh, God. Let me go check. I have to walk over to my computer. One moment. Where is VR chat? There you are. As it currently stands, 3,900 hours. Yeah, that's a lot. I know. So... Oh, God, I have a problem. What's 4,000 divided by 24? Alexa, what's 4,000 divided by 24?
4,000 divided by 24 is approximately 166.6667.
That's a lot of time I've spent in this game. Oh my God. Around half a year in VR chat. Anyway. Next. To Vox, if you had the opportunity to turn into your persona, would you do it? Would you do it? Sincerely, Ace. Yes. Yes, I would. Absolutely. I would... I wouldn't have broken expressions. My right Steam controller is a bit buggy. One moment, I have to do this. I have to reset it. Turn that controller off. And turn it back on. Come on. Come back. And then... There we go. That's the expression I wanted to do. Stick my tongue out. Yes, I absolutely would. And... I mean, it will be... I think there will be a lot of consequences to doing that, obviously. I hope I wasn't the only one doing it. If all furries in the world could all become their personas, that would be a lot of people. And I think it could be a bit more normalised if something like that happened. However, my persona is only 2.5 feet tall. So if I woke up and I was suddenly 2.5 feet tall, I would have a lot of logistical problems. I wouldn't be able to drive my car anymore. That would be a big issue. I wouldn't be able to reach my computer desk. I'd have to just stand on my computer chair, I guess. I wouldn't be able to reach any of my kitchen countertops. Yeah, that would come with a few problems. But hey, everything should be cheaper if it's downsized, right? But anyway, yeah, I would do it. Next question. This is from Pato, an outsider interested in the furry community. Hello, Mr. Vox Draco. I have a bit of a weird question. If you are a heterosexual male individual, then why your virtual avatar have such thick hips and glutes, a small waist, and is mostly cute? I mean, I know there are heterosexual male individuals who like to express feminine traits or even like to be perceived as submissive, but I always find it a bit contradictory. I'm sorry if my doubt is somewhat ridiculous. I guess my bisexual mind sometimes makes me not fully understand the sexual expressions of some folks. I hope you're having a great day, Mr. Vox. Ciao. Okay, Pato, there's nothing wrong with your mind. You know, there's nothing... It's you're not confused about this because you're bisexual. You're a bit confused about this because sexuality is a very, very complicated thing. So two things. Well, first off, I do not have a small waist. I am quite chubby. So, you know, yes, I do have the thick hips and glutes, but that's there's several reasons for that. There are some reasons I'm not going to go into because it's too personal. But I will say this. I am a heterosexual male. Also, you've got to keep in mind that my previous Sona was a Ricor. And I'm going to change into that right now so you can see what that looks like. Oh, it's appeared behind my OVR window. Bear with me. Where is it? This is a Ricor. I'm going to move back from the camera. And you can see that Rickors also have really thick sort of thick thighs and stuff like that. So they, you know, we're kind. It's kind of similar in that way. And I move back to here. Where was there? Okay. Yeah. Rickors are sort of similar in that respect, and I kind of wanted to keep that overall shape when I switched Sona from a Rickor to a little fluffy dragon. But the thing is that you don't get really big, thick hips without some body fat or some, you know, or thick legs. You tend to normally be thick all the way through, and that, so I sort of gave my character a bit of a belly by doing that. But it's also for cuteness level, you know, chubby little characters are cute, so I did it for that reason as well. But that's all I'm going to say on the matter. I'm not going to go any further. But there's nothing wrong with what you're thinking. Sexuality is just very, very complicated, so don't you worry. I'm going to switch back to my avatar. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, okay. So, next. What's your favourite type of bread at Subway? I don't really go to Subway very much. I like seeded bread. Like, you know, seedy bread. I just said seedy bread to a bunch of fucking furries. I like bread that has lots of seeds in it. That is like wheat bread, like wholemeal bread or something like that, because I like the flavour. It's good for you. Well, it's better than just plain white bread. Bread is my weakness. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next question. What VR setup do you use? And if you have full body tracking, could you say what trackers you do use? I do have full body tracking. I am using 3 HTC 3.0 body trackers, and I'm using a Valve Index. That's my setup. Next question. Nico asks, how did you come up with the design for your model? Does the sun vibes have any meaning, or is it just cool? That is a really good question. So some of the design was carried over from the Rickor. Black, white, gold. The Rickor had very set patterns on the avatar, which I obviously created using a fill tool when I was quite new to, you know, texturing avatars. This one has a similar pattern because I kind of wanted to keep it similar, but not the same. I wanted it to be a dragon because my old Sona was a bronze-coloured dragon. Then I went to a Rickor, and then I fell in love with a Rickor because it's really small, cute, approachable. And then from that, I back to sort of a dragon, but small, cutesy sort of vibes as well. The sun does have a meaning. So the sun kind of looks like the Star of Macedonia. It's similar, but not quite. But it's a 16-sided star. It has a lot of meanings that no sort of archaeologist can really sort of. If we're going to go on, yes, it's the Star of Macedonia. No one can really agree on what it really means. Some people say it represents like oaths, and because the sun god. Is it Helios? Also used this symbol sometimes. It was on some of his statues. Some people say it just represents, just the sun and unity, because all the tribes of Macedonia were sort of represented by each point. But that's actually not. That's really, really disputed. But I didn't make it with the idea of it being the Star of Macedonia. I've seen this symbol here and there in certain ways. This is like sort of my own kind of version. It's a bit resized. But for me personally, this symbol means unity, because the sun touches everyone, and all I really want is for people to be unified and get along. And I have that desire for people. So I made it my symbol for my avatar. So yeah, the sun touches everyone, and it's a symbol of unity. But yeah, it's a good question. Anyway, this one is asked by... Excuse me, I need to drink some water. Let me just drink that. Sorry, just drinking ASMR. This video is going to be very long, I can see it now. Okay. Nico asks, how did you come up with the design... Oh no, I've just answered that one. What is your favourite thing to do in VR chat? Asked by Zeta. Just chill with friends, honestly. I don't really play many games in VR chat. Sometimes I do. At the weekends, I do like to go to music events, though. I like to go to music events, party with people, have a few drinks. Sometimes I'll play drinking games with people as well, which is always fun. But yeah, that's kind of it, really. Yeah, just socializing. Next question. What other games do you usually like to play other than VR chat? How long does it take to make one video, like recording and editing? P.S. I love your videos, from Reaper. Thank you, Reaper. I appreciate that. I've already kind of answered this a little bit, but again, I like Baldur's Gate. I like automation games. I like some first-person shooters. I play lots of different games. I don't have anything really consistent that I play, apart from like the original Unreal Tournament, which I'd like to go back to occasionally. How long does it take to make one video? It really depends on the video. Like, the skits that I put out, like the last video I put out was the age gating video. That took about 5 hours to make-ish, roughly 5 hours. And that was from recording, editing, re-recording bits that I didn't like, editing that, getting a draft, sending it to people who I trust, who can give me their feedback, editing some more, I want what they comment, and then adding music, redoing the audio balancing it, sending it back to those people, what do you think of the audio, and if they have any more criticisms, I can go back and address them, and then I then schedule it for release, usually the day after I think it's complete. And that one took about 5 hours to do in total. The video on red flags, that took about 4 or 5 days. No, I didn't. It took about 3 weeks, actually. Yeah, it took about 3-ish weeks to do that video, because there was a lot to re-edit. Because there were some red flags that I put in there that I took out, so I had to redo it. And some things that I had to sort of redo on the script because I didn't want to get the wrong thing across. The longest video that I've ever done was the video on compassion and escapism in VR chat. That took nearly 2 months to get right. That video was, although I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think that's probably one of the best videos I've made personally, the script was so difficult to get right because I'm dyslexic. So getting that right and getting the meaning across correctly was a big challenge for me. Luckily, big credit to my best friend Graham, who is fantastic at English, and he is very good at proofreading and proofing in general. He did it at one point for a job. He helped me a lot with that, so credit to him. But yeah, that video took a long time. But again, it just depends on the length of the video. How long's a piece of string? It just depends. Depends on the content. Next question. Do you plan to make another VR chat red flags video? I never use the platform and would love to know more red flags I should be aware of when I do eventually get on the platform. From Kaido Fox. Or Kaido Fox? I'm sorry if I spell your name wrong, so I pronounce your name incorrectly. As I said earlier, I am dyslexic. I can get it wrong quite a lot. Yes, I am doing another red flags video. In fact, I have already started writing the script for it. However, it's not going to be quite the same format as the first one. The red flags video is by far the most popular video I've ever made. I think at this point it's got like over 100,000 views, which is just mind-blowing. I'm glad a lot of people really liked it. I'm going to bring in more red flags that people should be aware of, but the thing is what you guys need to know, and I will explain this more in the video. The red flags that I'm going to include are red flags that I did not include in the first one, and I'm going to go over those red flags and why I didn't include them, because these particular red flags are, there's a saying, a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. I cannot put out wrong information on this because it's really risky. I don't want someone to get hurt because I was irresponsible with this platform. So, you know, I would hate for someone to get hurt because of me. So, yeah. I do plan doing a follow-up. It's not quite going to be the same. But yes, I do plan on doing that. What is your first VR headset and what is your current VR headset? I've already explained what my current headset is. It's a Valve Index, but my first VR headset was a Rift CV1, the OG headset when all VR stuff started to take off. That thing was built really well. That thing could be smacked around and it would just keep going. I don't have it anymore. I gave it away. And the friend that has it, it still works. So that's good. But yeah, that's my first one. Next one, a question from Ray. Do you have any hobbies aside from VR chat you would like to share? I'd like to hear about your niche interests. I've already said that I like Warhammer 40,000. So, yeah, there's that. Aside from that, I like reptiles. I have pet reptiles. I have over there, I mean, I'm pointing like you can see it, but I have a leopard gecko who is currently staring at me through her glass because she sees movement and she's just like, oh, is that food? Is that food? Food? So, yeah, I have a leopard gecko. I did have a bearded dragon, but unfortunately recently he passed away. But I will play a little video, which will hopefully play on video now with some editing magic of my silly gecko just being really cute and adorable as always. But yeah, that's I like reptiles. I'm into it. I really like them because they're just I find them quite fascinating because they're such simple creatures, but they're just really good at what they do. You know, it's how such simple creatures that a lot of people look at that are just like unevolved, they thrive because they just work. They're just good at what they do. Their ability to survive, the fact that they're cold-blooded, they can go so long without eating. They're fascinating. And yeah, my leopard geckos are adorable. So I've got one. She's my second leopard gecko. I used to have another one, but that was a while ago and she passed away. But anyway, next. After viewing your stereotypes video and seeing how you guys react to Tidums, as I am one myself, I was curious to see if you had any interaction with them. And if so, which ones do you enjoy or hate the most? Oh god. Look, that video was a joke. I really hope that you weren't offended. I am sorry if you were. It was just a little joke. The whole thing was not meant to be taken seriously. I like Tidums. I think Tidums are adorable. There is a lot of memes about them being idiots and loving banana bread. And I think a lot of Tidums sort of play into that role, you know, purposefully, because it's funny. Because it is funny. It is entertaining. I mean, there's a really good comic about a Tidum that I saw recently, about a Tidum holding up a loaf of bread and going, look, I have created a loaf of bread that screams constantly. And this loaf of bread is just screaming. And another Tidum just asks him, why? And the Tidum is just like, You can't answer the question. Yeah, why did you do that? It's just, yeah, it's just there's a play on that stereotype. I like Tidums, and pretty much all Tidums I've ever met have been really nice. Some of them have been really goofy. Some of them have been really, really funny. I've had one that was a bit problematic, but I haven't seen them in a long time. But I like Tidums. Pretty much every one of them have been really nice. But yeah. Next question. Oh, before I go actually to the next question, I just want to point out that if there are different kinds of Tidums, I don't have enough knowledge of them to say which ones I would like the most based on that. I honestly don't have that kind of knowledge that would make me an authority on that. But yeah, I tend to judge people based on their character, not what species they are using. the stereotypes thing was a joke. I'm interested in joining Furry VR Chat, but I don't know if I want to invest money into an avatar. I also don't really have anything original that I would commission. Any tips on what types of avatars to use, or if I should look into commissions in general? From Ness. Okay, so you've said that you don't want to invest money. Okay, fair enough. And you don't have anything original either. Okay, I've got a tip for you then, in that case. Come into VR Chat, just on desktop mode or something, and search for the world called Prismic's Avatar Search, which is PRISMIC Avatar Search. This world has over 1 million avatars in there. It has this big search function where it will just like look up various avatars and put them on pedestals on the wall. Well, it's not pedestals, it's more like portraits. My computer did something then, that was a bit weird. But yeah, go into there and look for furry avatars. Look for a particular species if you want. And yeah, there'll be a lot of options on there that are public. You can obviously also go to Gumroad or Booth and look on avatars on there. Just put in like VR Chat space, avatar space, and then species name. And there's probably going to be avatars of that species that exist. So yeah, that's what I would say. You can find avatars on there if you don't really want to invest money that are free, and some of them are actually pretty good. But if you do want to invest money, obviously, yeah, you don't want to spend money on commissions. You could always do it yourself by using Substance Painter or GIMP or something like that. Substance Painter, however, costs some money. GIMP does not, but it doesn't do 3D views, but you can still use fill tools to like fill in like big blobs of colour and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And avatars fill in large areas, especially if they're more cartoony looking avatar. It would be good for things like that. But yeah, that's look in there, get an idea of what you want. Use public avatar. Maybe something there will inspire you. If you want to commission avatar creators, I mean, there's a lot out there. There are a lot of people doing commissions. I personally can't really recommend any, but yeah, go to that world. That should help you. And Novalex343 here, he asks, or her, I don't know, how many times have you had to go to hospital because of a broken thumb for fast playing games on VR? Or is that something rare? I am pretty concerned every time I see someone using VR. Thanks and salut to de Colombia, you cute. I don't speak any other language besides English. I am really sorry if I've messed that up. He says that salutu is a word game in Spanish, and it means greetings, but in a playful context. Okay, thank you for elaborating, and thank you for calling me cute. I've never hurt myself when I was playing in VR Chat. I did fall over once, but I didn't hurt myself. If you mean like really fast games, you're talking about like Beat Saber or something like that. Yeah, I can easily see how you would smash your hand on something and hurt yourself and probably break your controller. I have personally never done that, but I'm quite good these days at sort of realizing where my play space is. And because I'm using a Valve Index, I can feel the cable down the back of my neck, and I can feel it right now on my right ankle. So I know that the only way it's going to be touching my right ankle is if the cable's going in that direction towards my computer. So I can sort of instinctually at this point know where I am in relation to where my computer is and then my computer desk. And I don't even have a tremendous amount of room to work with. I mean, if I walk from, this is like the far side of my room, to like here, to here, and if I move over here, I have that much sort of space. But this is my living room, and the back of the room is over there. And I'm probably going to go through the camera, but I'm not. Front of the room is here. So, yeah. I have a fairly large space. But obviously, there's desks and stuff in here. But I just keep an eye on the grid around me. The safety thing, whatever it's called. The Guardian, that's it, the Guardian. And that will tell me. I can see it on the floor. Don't turn that off if you come into VR. A lot of people, oh, that's distracting, I want it off. No, you will get used to it. Just don't turn it off, it's risky. I assume that's what you mean by hurting yourself. In fact, I know one person who has hurt themselves from going in VR chat from playing. I'm not going to say their name, but if they're watching, they know who they are. They were pole dancing in VR chat with a completely wireless setup, which is normally fine. However, he was a little bit tipsy and he slipped off the pole and broke his hand. So, yeah, he's fine now though. But yeah, anyway, next question. How old are you? I am 35 years old. Yeah, I'm 35. A lot of my audience are younger than me, sometimes by over a decade. But then again, there's a lot of people that are older than me in the game as well, so, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm mid-30. I am going to be turning 36 next year, in May. Oh, time flies. Anyway. Next question. From Alex the Wallix from the Salix. Did I say that right? Hey Vox, when will you review Lego Set 3658? I don't really review Lego sets. That's not really my thing. Is this a meme? I'm getting the feeling that this is some kind of meme. I didn't really have Lego when I was a kid. I had Meccano. I liked Meccano, not Lego. But I have no plans to review this. I'm actually kind of curious as to figure out what this is. One moment. I'm just going to go over to my computer. Just one sec. Oh, it's a helicopter. Okay. Okay. Curiosity sated, I guess. But I have no plans on reviewing it. But anyway. Next. If you work at a job, do your co-workers fulfill your need for community, or do you get that from the furry fandom? I definitely get it from the furry fandom. I'm only friends with like one person at work, and he's my immediate senior. I'm not really friends with that many other people there, because there's no problem with them. I just don't really spend much time with them. They're not really people I consider friends. They're nice, but yeah, I don't really see them very often because I work from home. So, I'm only really friends with one guy. But outside of that, though, I have lots of friends in the furry fandom, and I get all my fulfillment from that. Next question. Did you make your VR chat avatar model? If so, what are some tips you give for people making their own? And if not, who made it? I need to know. I've already answered this question. It's Angara Works on Booth. But as far as the first one goes, if you want to make your own, there's a tutorial on YouTube called the Donut Tutorial for Blender. I'd seriously recommend doing that. That's a good place to start when it comes to Blender. I don't know that much about Blender myself. I know a little bit. I know enough to get by, but yeah, if you want to seriously consider making an avatar, then that would be the way to do it. Well, in my opinion, anyway. Next, what is your Persona's species and what kind of pasta do you like? I'm a little furry dragon. I'm not a hamster. I know some of you were thinking that. I like... What kind of pasta do I like? I like tagliatelle. Tagliatelle's nice. Because I like lots of pasta dishes that's drowning in sauce. I quite like that. So tagliatelle. No, I know it's a bit boring, but I quite like it. Next question. How did you get introduced to become a part of the fandom? That was actually because of my best friend Graham. He's been in several videos. I've always liked anthro characters, but I didn't really dive into the furry fandom until I've known Graham for a few years. But yeah, it was through him. And I think the moment I decided to join the furry fandom was when I was at Barcade in London. I had such an amazing time. That was my first proper furry event. I was just like, you know what? I'm diving straight into this. I'm taking the plunge. And I did, and I've never looked back. Skippy here. I'm Australian, by the way. You know what you did in 1788. If you know, then you know. Thanks. Well, Skippy, is that the year when Britain colonised Australia? I think it is, isn't it? I mean, I'd say you're welcome if I'm correct, but, I mean, that wasn't me. That was my very long dead ancestors. But, yeah. Moving on. What would be a good way to approach you? I'm a bit shy myself and not sure how to socialise with content creators. From Vocal. This is a bit tricky. So I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I've had some people ask me if they can be my friend or meet me in VR chat and stuff like that. But my answer is always the same, and that's this. I do not accept friend requests from people I have not met organically. I have to meet you in VR chat first. If I get on with you, then yeah, we can be friends. But I have to meet you in an organic way. If we go to a music event and you're there and you come over, you say hello, we get on, then yeah, I might friend you then. But I don't accept like friend requests and meeting people that I just haven't met in a normal, natural way. And that is because I've been burnt by this in the past, where I friended someone who reached out to me and they were quite unstable. They were quite unwell, and they were far out of my capability to do anything about that. So I don't do that, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sorry, Vocal. If you want to interact through comments and things like that, then feel free. If I see them, I might respond. But if you want to try and meet up with me, naturally, I suppose, I like to go to music events in VR chat. I've already explained that. So think Placeholder Club, Sunday Service, the Doghouse, Vibe Night, things like that. On the weekends, if they're running, I might be there. I might not. But those are the sort of places I tend to go to. So, yeah, if you meet me, feel free to say hi. And if we get on, then we can take it from there. But anyway, next question. Will you ever make a Discord server? From Innovators. No, I won't. For the same reason I said earlier about making meetups. I don't want to make something, a community based around myself. That was never my goal. And I don't want to make this about me. I never have wanted that. I just wanted... My idea for the making guides was to just give people a push, just a gentle nudge in the right direction to get people to try and help themselves. That's all I really wanted to do when I started this. And it's since evolved into silly skits. But yeah. So the answer is no. And if you've seen your Discord servers that are based around me, they're not me. They're fake. Yeah. Anyway. Next. What is your favourite video game? Well, I guess besides VR chat, it's probably Unreal Tournament. The original Unreal Tournament. But yeah, there you go. Simple question. Simple answer. Hi Vox, love you and you love your videos. Today I have a few questions for you. What do you do for a living? Do your family and friends know that you're a furry content creator? And if so, what's their initial reaction? Has anyone recognised your voice in public yet? All hugs and kisses from your fan from Poland. Thank you very much for that. For a living, I am a DevOps engineer, primarily specialising in infrastructure, cloud infrastructure in Azure, AWS, and GCP. I know that I've sort of confused a few people by saying that because they're like, I thought you were a cook because of this other video. No, I used to be a cook. My old job, which was about... When was that? Oh, God, it was 12 years ago. My old job 12 years ago, my first career was being in cooking, being a chef. I was a patisserie chef for 3 years, but I gave up the career because it was just horrible amounts of work. I had no social life and I couldn't take it, so I quit. And I retrained. I retrained in computing because I've been around computers my entire life, and yeah. But yeah, I am a DevOps engineer. I specialize in infrastructure and automation as well. So Puppet, Ansible, Terraform, things like that. That's sort of what I do on my day-to-day. I'm like pretty much pure Linux everything. I don't touch Windows very often. If someone's about to ask me for IT help, I don't really touch Windows very much. I do sometimes. I think I've got like 2 Windows servers in the current environments that I've got at the minute. But yeah, they only exist because they're running proprietary software that Linux can't run. But anyway, by design, I should add. Anyway, next question. Do your family and friends know that you're a furry content creator? If so, what was their initial reaction? My family does not know that I am a furry content creator. They don't know I'm a furry, and I am intending to keep it that way. There will probably come a time where I will have to tell my dad for some reason, but I don't particularly want to at the moment. All my friends know that I'm a furry because all my friends are furries, so that one's pretty easy. As the next question, though, has anyone recognised your voice in public yet? I get recognised in VR chat worlds quite regularly. Like, pretty much every time these days I join a dance world, a public rave world or something, I get people coming up to me and saying hello, which is flattering, but at the same time it's very scary still. I am not used to this kind of attention. But as far as my voice alone being recognised in public, no one's recognised me, and I kind of want to keep it that way. But anyway, next question. What kind of avatar are you? Haven't seen these fluffy teddy bear looking dragons around, though it looks really cute and huggable. From Kai. Thank you for that. But yeah, it's a Kipaloo dragon from Gumroad. No, Booth, rather. I have answered this question a lot. I'm not answering it again. But thank you for the compliment, though. Not really a question, but I want to let you know that I love you and your videos. Keep it up, man. You're such a cute floofy bean, and I hope you're having a great day, and I want to hug you too. Or, okay, maybe I have a question. Did you know that you're cute? Oh my god. Do you know that you're cute and amazing? Sorry if this makes you uncomfortable. I just want to make you smile. Well, you did make me smile. But that was very cheesy. That was full of cheese. But thank you very much. That was kind of you. Swiftly moving on. What is your PC setup for VR chat? What specs do you have? It looks like your game runs really well. I have a pretty good computer. I have a Ryzen 9 7950X3D. I have a 4090 graphics card. I have 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 megahertz. I have a terabyte SSD that's PCIe 5 compatible. I've got a 1000 watt PSU in there. Is there anything else in there? There's a hard drive as well. It's 8 terabytes that I use for storage. I can't remember what specific motherboard I have. There are so many different kinds, but it's a full ATX thing and it's in a giant Corsair case. I bought this computer earlier this year because I had to replace my old computer because it was 7 years old at that point and it was struggling badly with VR chat. And you know what, considering I'm making videos and considering I just want it to last, I decided to just, right, take my money, here you go. I need the best computer I can really afford. And yeah, I went out and bought all the parts and just gave a huge amount of my money to Amazon and just and I built it myself. But yeah, that's my computer specs. It's a very powerful computer. It was also eye-wateringly expensive, but it will last. I think it's worth more than my car. But anyway, let's continue. Hi Vox, Mighty here. I want to ask you a question. If you got the chance to tell the world something, what would it be? Oh gosh. Gotta think of like inspirational quotes here. There's one that comes to mind. Actually, there's two that comes to mind. The first one is my personal one, and if you've ever looked in my bio, you will have seen it. And that is, "The storm will lead you home." And I really like that quote. It's actually from a song. It's from The Promise, which is a song by Globus. I mentioned it earlier. It's another way of saying that it's darkest before the dawn or something like that. But I sort of interpret it as a way like, whatever struggles and tribulations are heading your way, whatever storm you are facing, you have to just keep sailing through it. And you don't need to necessarily do it alone, but you have to keep sailing through it. Because once you get through that storm, you will find your home. And that is something that I like quite a lot, because it means a lot to me personally. There's another one that is, I think it goes, "Treat people how they ought to be treated, and this will help them become what they are capable of becoming." I can't remember who exactly said that, but again, I like that quote because it sort of reminds me of what I set out to do with this channel, which is just push people in the right direction if I can. But yeah, those are my two things, I guess, to say to the world. Next question. Who made your avatar and why is your white fur dirty? I love your Sona. Hey, I am not dirty, okay? I have some, like, pigments in the white fur, but I'm not dirty. That's just the way my fur is. But I thank you anyway for the compliment, saying that you love my Sona. But I'm not dirty. Anyway, next question. I doubt you are 2.5 feet tall IRL, but how tall are you? My name is Kit, by the way. I am 5'10" in real life. I am completely average. And you know what? I am fine with that, because I can reach every shelf and have enough legroom in every seat. Because I am average, everything's designed around me. So that's really helpful. It sounds really selfish, doesn't it? But, I didn't choose to be this height. I just am. And because of that, things are kind of convenient. I know some men are just like, oh, I wish I was taller. But you know what? I'm fine with my height. It's never been a problem. So, you know what? I'm just going to, everything fits me. And I don't have any problems with my height. So, yeah, that's how tall I am. I am 5'10". Next one is, would you do more videos like the one about compassion from Werzer? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Yes, I do plan on doing more. You will see. There are more coming up in the future. I have a long list of videos that I want to make, so don't you worry. Next one is, hey, I'm Pyro. What's your favourite type of cheese? I fear I may have accidentally answered this earlier. It's brie. Brie is my favourite cheese. Next question. Endramation here. I think I said that right. Endramation. Yeah, I think that's it. How much would you rate bread from 0 to 10? Keep in mind that I'm a bread lover, so I will be watching. Make the right move. Oh no. Also, if you could hang out with a character / YouTuber specifically on Tuesdays, who would it be? Ooh, that's an interesting one. 10 out of 10, bread. I absolutely love bread. Bread is a very versatile, delicious food. You can make sauces with it. You can make puddings with it. You can add lots of things to it, and it'll still be great. You can bake it, rebake it, grill it. You can deep fry things in it. Bread is fantastic. If there's one YouTuber I could hang around with like every Tuesday, I would say Theremin Trees. Theremin Trees is a YouTube channel that is dedicated to like psychology and understanding people, and it's to do with like He's basically a guy who, very young, he grew up in a pretty abusive household, and his mother was a narcissist that used a lot of she used religion to justify her abuse. And yeah, that's from that he became a therapist, and he became an atheist as well. So yeah, he makes a lot of really good videos with lots of nice animations and things, just explaining how, you know, people tend to work and things, and it's really, really good. And it was actually my friend Rio who introduced that to me. So if I was going to spend time with anybody, it would be him, because I'd love to have a conversation with him. But yeah. Anyway, next question. I need some more water. Oh my god. How long has this video been going on? Oh, Jesus. This video is going to take so long. I can't imagine how long it's going to take to edit. Well, here we go. This is the easy bit, recording. Recording it is the easy bit, yeah. Because it's all live. I'm not going off a script. Anyway. Hey, quick question. Does your avatar have any impact on performance in VR? It seems very high in detail fur-wise. From ADAS? I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, I'm sorry if I've got it wrong. I'm dyslexic. No, it should not. This fur shaders have a really bad reputation of being very, very, very bad when it comes to performance. However, this particular shader was built with performance in mind from its inception. So, you know, it is quick. It's called Warren's Fast Fur Shader for a reason. You know, the guy has spent a lot of time optimizing it. Everyone that I've been around doesn't think that they have any issues around me. Although I do occasionally get the person who I'm like stood next to in like a VR chat world for like 20 minutes or so with fur shader on, you know, just hanging out, and then they look at me and go, fur shader, my frames just dropped by 20 because you're here. And I'm just like, I've been here the whole time. What are you talking about? But because there's a stigma with them. But yeah, anyway, it shouldn't have any performance impact. Next. Hi, I was wondering if I could possibly have one custom of your model. If you say no, then that's completely fine. No, I'm not giving my avatar out. First off, I bought the base from someone else, so I can't give it away because of that. You have to buy that first. Secondly, I am not giving away this avatar regardless, because it's at this point very bespoke. All the UVs are changed, the mesh is completely different, the armature is different from the original. You know, it's quite a unique avatar at this point. It is mine, it is my Sona, and it's quite personal to me, so I will not be giving it out. You know, I have been impersonated before. I have had someone, like, you know, rip my avatar as well. So, yeah, that was creepy, and I don't want that again. So, yeah, I'm not going to give that out. So if you see any other people, like, wandering around here and their name isn't VOX space GRACO, Vox space Draco, it's not me. Vox space Draco is me. Anyone else that you see with this avatar is someone else. Anyway, next question. What inspired you to make your persona? I have already covered that, I'm afraid, so I'm going to have to move on. What events in your life made you decide to be a furry? From Luna the Demon Umbreon. That's a familiar name. I think that is actually someone that I know. Is that you, Techno? If it isn't, then fine. It doesn't matter. But I've already answered this question, unfortunately. Yeah, I went to Barcade. I got I really enjoyed myself. And yeah, I decided to take the plunge after hanging around with furries for so long. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've always liked Anthro characters. I've always found them way more interesting than human ones. So, yeah, not much more to say. It is actually as simple as that. Okay, next question. Standing on my cable. Dave, silly question. Dave here. Sorry, Dave, I'm just yelling the word Dave. Dave here. Silly question because I am unable to provide any actual insightful questions. Okay, 1,000 ducks versus one armored machine gun wielding dude. Who wins? Can the dude be a space marine? Because he'd definitely win. I need more context. I'm going to say the ducks will win. Because ducks. Yeah. Next question. Do you like hot sauce? Yes, I do like hot sauce. I really like pineapple sort of hot sauces and smoky hot sauces. So Son of Zombie, really good hot sauce. Psycho Juice, Chipotle, really good hot sauce. I love those two. I've got a few in my fridge right now. I can't remember the name of them, but yeah, I do like hot sauces. I'm a fan. I don't like them super duper hot, even though the Psycho Juice Chipotle is very hot. I only use a little bit of it, but it's a nice smoky flavour. Next question. Who's a hood boy? Hood. G is next to H on a keyboard. So I'm assuming they meant good boy. I am not a dog, okay? I'm a dragon. So you can call me a good boy all you want, but it's not going to have the same effect. Next question. Are there many British furs on VRChat? The symbols on your thighs, what do they mean? What kind of species are you and do they grow taller? And can those thighs crush walnuts? From David S. There are lots of British furries on VRChat. I know quite a lot. So if you ever want to come in just around normal British evening time, you will run into British people. The symbols on those thighs, these thighs, I've already explained what they meant. What kind of species are you and do they grow taller? Kipaloo dragons do grow a bit taller, according to the law that, the guy who made this, the Angara Works made. And can those thighs crush walnuts? Well, I've never tried. I I've never tried crushing walnuts with these, but, one would think. Maybe? Let's go with yes. Why and when did you decide to become a furry, and who are your favourite kinds of furries? Well, dragons, I suppose, are the favourite kinds. When I became a furry has not been asked yet, and that was about 5 years ago. Favourite kinds of furries, again, yeah, dragons. I have a soft spot for dragons. But why, I've already answered that question. Next one is, what games do you like to play? I suggest you play Terraria. I don't know how to give any reason, but if like you ever got time to spare, you should definitely try Terraria. Again, I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. I mess up sometimes. Don't let the haters get to you, Vox. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I've already covered this. However, I have played Terraria. Back when I was working at, not my old job, but the job before that, I was working at a university. Some of my colleagues, we'd just hook up laptops and play Terraria sometimes, on lunch breaks and things, and it was really good. We completed it several times. It's a good game. It's been a long time since that's happened though, but yeah, Terraria is a good game. I recommend it as well. Next question. What's your opinion on young furries? From Faithy777. I don't really have that strong an opinion on young furries. I'm not like, no, they shouldn't be here. I think they're okay to be here as long as they stay out of like 18 plus and adult themed areas of the furry fandom. But if they are interested in the furry fandom, even though they're quite young, I think they should be okay to explore it with supervision. Like in VRChat, I don't really hang with any kids for obvious reasons. I think I've met like maybe one furry who's quite young, like 15, who is polite and doesn't scream all the time in VRChat. That can happen sometimes, and I think it's okay to talk to people that are that young. And in VR chat, as long as it's like once in a blue moon and it's like they've approached you in a world randomly and they're just curious and they'll ask you a question, I don't mind answering something, just talking about simple things. But yeah, as long as that's all it is, then yeah, I think young furries are fine to be in VR chat and they're fine to be in the furry fandom. They just have to be supervised and kept away from the seedy stuff. So yeah. Anyway, next question. This is from Fox and Colt. Which Pokemon would you smash? Oh God! Of course, this bloody question was in here. Salazzle. There you go. Salazzle. I'd smash Salazzle. What is that avatar's base called you normally use in your videos? The fuzzy little guy. Oh, well, I've already explained that. And what is the avatar? What is this avatar at the timestamp in one of your videos in the orange? Oh, there's a link in the question. Just one moment. Let me go check this on my computer. Bear with me. Oh, yeah, I know what that is. Okay, that is, it's, let me check its name. I think it's called the Anxiety Fox. No, it's Anxiety Wolf. I've turned into an error robot. That's good, isn't it? Thanks, VR chat. Let me try that again. Right, and I'll change back. There we go. This guy. This is the Anxiety Wolf. Let me look at its status, what it is, who made this. Made by Hoodie VR. Yeah, Hoodie with 2 zeros, H00DIE_VR. Just called Anxiety Wolf. But the name is ! Anxiety space wolf ! If you want to search for it. Right, I will change back. There we go. Oh, there was actually more on the question. I am just exploring my options for avatars to buy, and those look really good, so I want to get one similar. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, there you go. There's your answers. How did you find the courage to come out as British? Hey! That's not very nice. Just because I'm British, I can't help being British. You know, flowers can't choose where they bloom. Not that I'm a flower. I'm a very smelly flower, probably. But, thanks, I guess, for that question. Hi, my name's Tiki. My question is, where did you get your avatar? Was it commissioned? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Was it commissioned or customized, pre-made like most VR chat avatars? It was a customized, pre-made base. So, yeah. Yeah, I've already answered the rest of that. Hi, I'm Vic. What's your opinion on Therians? Oh, I am very unprepared for this question. I don't really have one. I don't really know any Therians, unfortunately. Actually, no, I know one, but I haven't really talked to him about being a Therian. I don't really have an opinion because I don't really quite understand what Therians are. The thing is, I have an idea of what a Therian is. Well, the thing is, I don't like saying something unless I'm sure about it. You know, a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. I don't like assuming things. So I'm sorry, but I can't answer that question because I just don't feel I'm good enough to really answer it. Next question. My name, Eddie Proto. Question, are you edible? No, I am friend, not food. Don't try and eat me. Why is it people assume that I'm into vor because I'm short sometimes? I'm just like, no, I'm not. I'm just short. I'm not into that. Yeah. Anyway, next question. What are your favourite British tanks / military vehicles? From Ernest. I don't know much about military vehicles. That would be a much better question for my friend Rio, who knows seemingly everything about them. I've got to name a British vehicle. Harrier Jump Jet. There you go. That's my favourite. It's one by default, I'm afraid. I don't know much about them. Next question. Do you have professionals/semi-professional communication training? Your deliveries are above and beyond from what I expect from a smaller, pun absolutely intended, YouTubers. From Dinoicas? I'm really sorry. As I've said, I'm dyslexic. I struggle with words that I've not seen before. No, I don't have any training like that. No, I don't. It's flattering that you think that, though. That's quite flattering. I used to have quite a bad speech impediment when I was young, actually, and I was treated for that. So maybe that could be part of the way I talk. I don't know, but I don't have any communication training whatsoever. This is just the way I talk. But thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Next question is, how did you come up with the design for your current persona? What do the sun symbols represent? If you don't mind me asking, from Luna. I'm afraid I've already answered this, so I have to move on. What is, hands down, the most dumbest thing you've ever bought? Where is it now, and what led you to purchase it? Call me Eco if you read this one out. Well, Eco, let me think. Yep, I know exactly what it is. It was a treadmill. So I bought it because I wanted to lose some weight. I bought it, used it once, then started running, and then didn't use it anymore because I was running outside instead. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. Where is it now, though? I gave it to my brother because he wanted to get in shape and stuff as well. So, yeah. I don't know where it is now, though. I don't know if he still has it. He might not. I have no idea. That was a few years ago. But, yeah, I think that cost me like £500. Oh, God. That was a bad decision, wasn't it? But anyway, next question. Hi, can I ask what VR setup you're using in your videos? Trackers, how many, and maybe the room setup? Thank you. I've already sort of answered that, I suppose. Valve Index, 3 HTC full body trackers, just the HTC, was it HTC or is it Vive? Or whatever, the 3.0 trackers, I have 3 of them. One on my waist, one on each feet, rather. I've got the Valve Index, and I have 2 lighthouses, one over there and one over there. Yeah, that's all I have. And it's a fairly big room, well, kind of big. It's a medium-sized room, but there's some stuff in here. There's like a sofa behind me, and there's a desk over there, and there's another desk over there. So, my gecko's over there in the tank. Next question. Do you like cuddling with others? If yes, do you have a big stuffed animal plushie IRL? I do have one to help me relax and sleep. From Flora the kitty. I love cuddling. I like cuddling a lot. Who doesn't like cuddles? You know, who doesn't like cuddles? I typically only cuddle with women though, but yeah, I like cuddles. I do have a plushie. The biggest plushie I've got is the IKEA shark Blue High. But when I sleep, I usually put a pillow against my chest because I sleep on my side, and if I don't, my arms just sort of go like that, and it's a bit uncomfortable. So I might use a plushie. I might use that plushie sometimes, but most of the time I just put a pillow against my chest. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next question. How do you make these videos? From Silver. I mean, I use DaVinci Resolve. I record them all in VR chat, obviously. I use a few other tools. I use GIMP sometimes to make thumbnails. I use Audacity sometimes. There are some tools that I use to generate voiceovers that are like for voice mod stuff. I can't remember the name of that particular software though, to be honest. But yeah, it's DaVinci Resolve is the main piece of software I use because it's free. I mean, for something that's free, it's very capable. So, you know, why not? Spitzy asks, do you like water? Hee hee. Spitzy, I know you. I recognise that name. Of course I like water. I love water. Water's great. I have some right now. In fact, I will drink some because water is important. Stay hydrated. That's some good water. Well, thank you for the question. Next question. Do you like cheese? I have already answered that. A lot of people are focusing on cheese. But next question. Serious question, not meant to be negative. Are you suspect? Are you or suspect or suspect you are neurodivergent? I guess I am. I've already mentioned it before, but I have ADHD. I have dyslexia and dyspraxia. So I don't think dyslexia and dyspraxia would. I don't know if that counts as neurodivergent, but I think some people consider ADHD as being neurodivergent. I was treated for it when I was a child. I was on Ritalin for several years. So I guess the answer is yes, because it's like on the same sort of spectrum as autism. But yeah, there's your answer, I guess. Next one. Next question is, hello, I'm Saul. What's your opinion on cacti? Annoyingly, I have to specify that I'm referring to the plant. I think I know why you said that. Fair enough. Cacti. I respect them as a plant, I guess, because they are a very ancient type of plant that is very simple and they can survive in incredibly harsh environments. It's kind of amazing. So they're kind of like reptiles in a lot of ways. So yeah, I suppose I like them. I respect them as plants because they are so survivable, have lots of survivability. Does that work? But yeah. Anyway, next. Next is, can I touch you? I mean, people always come up to me and give me head pats and things in VR chat. I don't mind if people do that. Or just poke my belly or something. Or sometimes go far as like pinching my backside or see if my arse has jiggle physics. That I'm not a big fan of, unless I can trust you, unless you're a friend. But in real life, I don't like being touched by people I don't know. But in VR chat, if you want to come over and give me a head pat or something, I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I guess that's my answer. Have you ever heard of a mountain chicken? From Vizara. A mountain chicken? This sounds like a trap. I'm going to go over to my computer and check that. One moment. What? It's a frog? It's a frog. It's not a chicken. It's not a bird. It's a frog. Why is it called a mountain chicken? It's not a chicken. Oh, wow. I learn something new every day. Yeah. Next question. Coke or Pepsi? For me, it's Pepsi. I prefer Pepsi Max specifically over other soft drinks. So, yeah. I know that to some people that makes me an absolute heathen, but you know what? I like what I like. So, whatever. Right, so the next questions are actually on a spreadsheet now because I ran out of space on Google Forms because there was 115 questions and this website can only show you 100 of them. So let me change window. Right, I can see the sheet now. Hello, I am very new to the furry fandom and I was wondering if you had any tips or anything to help me learn more about the fandom. My Sona's name is Max, by the way. Hello, Max. I would say go to fur meets if you can. If you are a minor, go with your parents. Meet people that way. It's the best way to learn about the fandom is to have some exposure with other furries, honestly. Yeah, that's how I did it. That's the only advice I can really give. I had a positive experience. I hope you do as well. I mean, you can go into VR chat and learn from other furries as well. If you go to furry worlds, furry dance events and things like that, you might, you'll pick things up that way as well. But, you just got to sort of keep in mind that furries are just, they're a hell of a mix of people. You get furries that are really nice and gentle and they'll recognise that you're new. And then you'll get arsehole furries who will just like, oh, there's a new person here, right? Let's corrupt him as much as we can. Yeah, stay away from those people. But just don't be dissuaded from the furry fandom if you run into those particular kind of people. Yeah, that's my advice. Anyway, Next one is, why small, cute, and fluffy? I don't understand. I mean, I just am. I'm not cute. Whatever. Anyway. Next question. When did you first figure out you were a furry? Also, how many questions are we able to ask per individual person? Technically, you just asked 2 then. I've just answered as many as I get given, to be honest, at this point. I've figured out that I liked anthro characters more than human ones since a fairly early age. I cannot remember. It was somewhere in my early teens. But when I joined the furry fandom, it was about 5 years ago. So yeah. Do you like orange Jaffa cakes? Yes, I do. Orange Jaffa cakes are fantastic. And to anyone that has not had a Jaffa cake before, because you're not British, get some. They are so good. Anyway, next. How do you feel about not safe for work avatars existing in VR chat? Okay, I'm personally fine with that. I think sexual expression is healthy and important. It should be done in a controlled way, though. I don't do it around minors, obviously, and do it around people that consent to it. But I think not safe for work avatars are fine as long as those sort of things are met. I mean, I think it's healthy. I think it's good. I have nothing against it whatsoever. Yeah, you can't just pretend that it doesn't exist, because I don't think that's really healthy. You know? So, especially on a social platform like this. I mean, come on. But I think it's fine, honestly. Next question. Do you listen to Kendrick Lamar from a person called R? Aren't they are they a rapper or a singer? I think they are. No, I don't, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't. Next question. Who and or how did you get into VR chat? Oh, right, okay. I think I understand what you mean. It was my friend Graham who... So, no, that's not true. I started playing VR chat back in 2017, technically. And that was when the whole Ugandan Knuckles thing blew up. I had a VR headset at the time. I had the CV1. I think it was 2017. Or was it 18? Or whatever. That thing blew up. I thought it was hilarious. I went to VR chat, tried to make friends, and I couldn't because I was so damn shy. I couldn't talk to people. That's different now. I've gained confidence since then. I'm not a social butterfly, but I've become more confident. But then in 2019, when COVID hit the UK, myself and my best friend Graham, we both bought Rift S's and we came into VR chat together. And through connections through him, I then met my current friend group. And yeah, that's how I sort of got into VR chat and stayed here. But yeah, there we go. Next question. Is it okay to be similar looking with somebody else's? Because I'm afraid of making a fursuit that is similar to someone else's. Oh, God, I hate questions like this, to be honest. The reason why I don't like these questions is because it reminds me of closed species, and I think closed species are stupid. I don't like the idea of them at all. You cannot copyright an idea. You can't. You can't take, like, an orca and a dragon and slap them together and go, this is mine now, no one else can do it. No, because you can do that 10,000 other ways. You can't copyright an idea. So if you've got a Sona that is a blue wolf with black stripes and one person has that idea, another person has an idea for their own Sona, and they have no knowledge of this over here, and it's also a blue wolf with black stripes, they might look slightly similar in some ways, but they were two separate ideas. As long as the end results are not identical because one's copied the other one, then it's fine. But there are some people that are sort of really adamant about this and like, oh, you've got my same colour scheme. And I'm just like, this is nuts. If you go to my Twitter, if you are an adult, by the way, if you go to my Twitter and go to my likes, you will see that I have liked other Sonas that look like this because I like the design. I think they look good. I think they're cute. So I think it's fine. Honestly, I think it's fine. As long as you're not copying, whatever. It doesn't matter. You know. But anyway, next question. How did you discover VR chat? I have already answered that. Of all the 8 to 10 main social VR platforms, what is your opinions on each? Preferably of ones you've played at least 5 to 10 hours of. I have only ever played VR chat, really. I did play a little bit of Neos VR when it was still a thing. I didn't enjoy it, and that was because I spent about 6 or 7 hours setting up a Ricor avatar in there with the help from a friend, trying to do a bunch of other stuff. And I'm just like, this reminds me of work. I don't want to come home and work. I don't like this. I just want to chill with my friends. That's all I want to do. VR chat is very accessible for that, so I'm sticking with VR chat. That's the only one I can give an opinion on, but unfortunately it's gone now, isn't it? Neos is going away. But whatever. Anyway, next question. Do you know where my wallet might be? I thought I left it in my jacket, but it wasn't there this morning, and I haven't seen it in any of the usual spots. Any idea where it might be? I need to buy a cabbage. From Movclat. I don't know where your wallet is. Have you checked under your sofa? Maybe in your car? Maybe it fell out of your jacket? I don't know. Do you know where you are? Are you okay? Moving on. Jambalaya... I'm not going to read the rest of that name out. Asks, what are you exactly, and is it intentional designed for you to be so goddamn thick? Respectfully, of course, from a non-furry. Yes, it is. I am a cutesy little dragon that's quite thick and, plump. So, it's supposed to be cute. I know the bottom heaviness is like, some people, oh, they must be gay or something because they're really bottom heavy, but no, I don't see it that way personally. I just like this look, but I'm not going to go any further into that. Next question. A couple questions for you. You're a fellow British. Where do you live? Town name or direct IP address? I don't have a pipe bomb, I promise. Okay. Next one. Will you make a Discord/Telegram group? And what games you play? You got any games on your phone? You fucking what, mate? You fucking what? I swear, me mum off. He's not. No, he's not saying that. Right. So I'm not telling you where I live. That's not going to happen. All I will say is I live in Yorkshire. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Will you make a Discord/Telegram group? No, I will not, for the reasons I've already stated. Oh, this is the very last question. Right. I usually go by Waffle on most platforms. Original, I know, but here is my question. What is something you would tell your past self before you started your channel? Oh, what a question to end on. I'd suppose it would be, don't worry so much. Because there was a point where this channel started to really take off and it spooked the hell out of me. I tell my former self, you don't need to worry, it'll be fine. Because what I did is I ended up talking to a much bigger, more popular furry than me about this, and they told me some advice about it all, how they deal with attention, because they don't like that kind of attention either. But I'm more exposed than they are. Exposed as in vulnerable, not as in bigger. They are much bigger than me. But yeah, that is the sort of advice. Just relax. You will be fine. And you got this. I hope. I think. We'll see. Anyway. Right, so that was the very last question. Holy shit, that took a long time. I did not expect this to go on that long. My mouth is dry. I am hungry. I need to go. But if you've stuck all the way to the end, thank you very much. I am going to be working on a new longer video soonish. I've got a few more shorts to come out. You can find me on Twitter if you want to subscribe to me on there. And yeah, I will see you all later. Thank you for your questions. It has been very humbling, and I cannot... it's sort of kind of crazy that, I've been asked this many things. But hey, I didn't expect it. But I'm going to try and embrace it, even though it still scares me. But, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you all later.